Yo, yo, yo. Thank you for tuning in to Metro Men of Atlanta. I am Sheldon G. Horton.
And I'm Troy Clinton.
Your boy Terrence Terry.
On today's top topic, we're talking about more allegations against Diddy and speculations about other celebrities involved. Also, we have a social media phenomenon and comedian to help us break down some of these top topics. But before we do that, brothers, how are y'all today?
Man,
I'm good.
I'm doing well. You know, I just got back off of a beautiful vacation.
Where were you world traveling?
Man,
He always out of town somewhere, always getting the food
always.
You know, I'm gonna get it in. So I am feeling good tonight. Happy to link back up with my boys. Super excited about that.
Well, although I ain't seen you in forever, it feels like, oh my God, when we was living right across the street or down the street from each other, I used to see you all the time. I miss you so much.
We gonna get up there. We gonna get up.
I know it. I know it.
Terrence?
What's going on with you, Terrence? How was your day?
Same shit, different day, new outfit. It was all right. I'm tired, boss.
New outfit. Listen, what y'all sipping on anything tonight?
I'm not sipping on nothing right now. I want to smoke on something. I'll do that when we done with this.
Pure. Right. I have me old delicious old margarita over here, so I'm trying to get
a plain margarita or a flavored margarita.
It's flavored, baby. It's strawberry, but it's real good. You know what I'm saying? It's a premix with some Quavo.
Okay.
A shot
Actually,
of Quavo.
I got a bottle of water right here.
Yeah. Oh, good. Now, come on, y'all. Y'all don't come on with no water, and I'm over here doing alcohol. Y'all ain't right. But that's what's up.
So you already know I had to be clear in mind. You know, I already knew who I was casting my vote for. But yeah, I took my baby with me, and we did our civic duty.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Got it in. Yes,
that is so awesome. Troy, you're a great parent, and I'm so glad to witness the things that you do with your daughters. I mean, because you are absolutely phenomenal. You and Bruce both when it comes to your children. Y'all do some great enriching things. Because baby, hats off to the what was it, the day camp?
The day camp.
Summer camp.
I mean,
he had it
Camp Troy, yes.
Yeah, Camp Troy, baby.
I'm thinking about bringing it back 2025.
Listen, he had that thing planned out. You hear what I say?
Camp I did for my daughters and about 7-8 of their friends for a week.
Oh, that's what's up.
Everywhere. Yeah, man. You know, I'm just always trying to keep them busy.
Yeah, he keeps them babies busy.
Keeps them busy.
Yeah. He keeps them baby busy and the right type of busy. Well, on the other side of this break, a hilarious brother who is not a stranger to the funny bone when we return, Metro Men of Atlanta.
Today we are joined by someone who spares no creativity when it comes to getting his hilarious points across. His global caricatures keep many of us highly entertained. Family, why don't y'all welcome to the show, to Metro Men of Atlanta, Tony Talks.
Woohoo!
Tony! What's up?
What's happening, brother?
I'm super glad I am here talking to y'all. I heard y'all a little bit earlier, and I was like, oh, dang, I ain't bring nothing to drink. I can't compare to what y'all were talking about.
Yeah, we some smokers over here. You know, you always got a cup, so I'm surprised you ain't had nothing you sipping on.
No, I really don't. I got some chapstick, so we can just pretend like that's something, and we can do that. But no, I don't have anything, unfortunately.
And listen, with your creativity, baby, we sure will be convinced you're drinking by the end of this.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Exactly.
Listen, you know what, though? I don't know if you actually remember In Style Atlanta, but I met you at the I Elevate shindig over in Buckhead, at the old Rich Carlton.
I remember the event. So what was our interaction? Did we just talk, or?
Well, actually, you was on the red carpet. We interviewed you on the red carpet. I was standing behind the camera, so I was behind a whole bunch of lights, and there was a young lady named Jordan, who actually, and she was at the end. She had long braids, and
I remember. I don't fully remember. I was gonna lie and pretend like I did, but I really don't.
And I'm so glad you did.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I remember her. No.
Hey.
Yeah.
Very bad.
But one of the questions I wanted to ask you was, before we, get you involved into talking about some of the topics that we're going to talk about, what inspired you to just jump out and do what you did? I mean, because you are very successful at what you're doing, and you are very consistent. And I love that. What was the motivation behind this whole movement?
Yeah, I wanted to be more of what I wanted to see in this comedic space. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many people who create content who are just on social media. I mean, just doing whatever they do. And at the time when I first started creating, I wanted to switch it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, my comedy is so unorganized and so like all over the place, but something about it is just so beautiful to me, and it's inspired by Mad TV and Family Guy, even a little bit of a Robot Chicken on Adult Swim. But it's very random, and I just wanted to just add a few more smiles into the world, because comedy is really what gets me through. So I figured, I mean, if it makes me smile, it'll make somebody else smile, and I just kept moving forward that way.
Well, that's awesome. Mission accomplished, brother. And I think a whole bunch of people would disagree with the fact that it's disorganized, because, brother, that is some real effort.
Yeah, and them editing skills are on point, baby, because it's really
on point.
Like a whole show.
Yes.
Yeah, I pay attention to detail. I'm such a perfectionist. You know what I'm saying? I have a very pass fail mentality when it comes to content, where I got to make sure the lighting is. I did say unorganized, but it's organized chaos. So it's like organized, unorganized, where everything is meant to be a mess. But yeah, it's my style. I love the unperfectness of being perfect. If that makes sense.
I love that. Yeah, I called it.
There you go.
Well, I'm excited to have you here. I've been checking your work out for quite some time. You're hilarious. I love your skits. They're so real. It's so much truth in so much of your comedy, so much that I can relate to. And I'm one who can always laugh at myself and laugh at my community, because the truth is the truth, and you just be hitting on some real things that I'd be like, yeah, I identify with that. So yeah,
it's relatable.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. It's the goal, take everyday situations and add a small twist to it that makes it, well, not small, but like add a twist to it that makes it exaggerated, but still, listen, my goal is just to add imagination to whatever we got going on. You know what I'm saying? Life is already as crazy as it is. And I love how you said, Troy, you could just make yourself laugh at yourself and all that. That's what life is about, being stupid and just finding it funny.
Thanks. Well, I appreciate you. We all appreciate you. So y'all ready to dive in? Because we got
Let's dive in, bro.
To talk about. Right now, we're going to start off with one of the OGs, Damon Dash. Y'all know him from hip hop. Well, he recently did an interview and had some interesting things to say about the Diddy saga. However, in that clip we're about to play, he brings up the importance of monitoring your children and the choice some parents have to make when it comes to having to leave their children in the care of someone else?
A lot of people are, pause, undercover gay because they got violated and they don't want people to know. And, you know, I learned this happens when I was spending some time in LA. I don't want to get specific with the story, but bottom line is, if you have to work and someone else is watching your children, especially if that person is younger, if that person's been abused, then they don't think it's a bad thing to abuse, or they might not call it abuse if they do it to another younger person. And that's, I think, where the cycle starts. So also I'm wondering with Puff, I'm like, if he is drugging dudes to make them gay, why does he want everybody to be gay? And the only thing I could come up with, he must have got some degree of violated and thinks that shit is normal.
It's so much in that.
A lot. That's a lot to unpack. That's a lot to unpack.
It is.
I mean, one of the biggest things
that work is it. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Tony.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I didn't know how it works. If you guys go like around the room or it just blurt it out.
Yeah, just go ahead.
Just go.
Yeah, but no, it's so crazy to me, y'all, how like the first thought, you know, of why a man is gay in a lot of people's mind is that they got violated. Like I really hate that that's the narrative, but you know, I do agree to there being a lot of people who are closeted, and especially in LA, and they, you know, clearly see something wrong with it, and they don't feel like it's gonna ruin their career if they come out, if they da da da. But what I don't believe is that everyone who is gay secretly was touched at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, me either.
Yeah,
me either. I totally agree with that, and it's a horrible stigma that does follow people. Even, you know what I'm saying, to touch on the whole child situation, because he's true. And one of the reasons why we even brought this up is because even with the new allegations of the 13-year-old that talked about he was touched or whatever, the first thing they say is, where are the parents? But he brings up a very good point. Like at the end of the day, at 13 years old, I went missing a whole bunch of times. And I was a young brother that loved older men, and I was always trying to find some when I was young. You get what I'm saying? Just to be honest. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, when we're thinking about the late 90s and the early 2000s, we were still in a place where the community was not as messed up as it was. So your parents gave you curfews. You go and do your thing. You just about to have your behind in the house before the street lights come on.
Yeah.
So we didn't have all of that to worry about in the same way that we have it to worry about, you know what I'm saying, more now. So it's very easy for a 13-year-old to go somewhere and do, you know what I'm saying, get into something. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And then too, again, when, you know, we parents, who parent can really stay home and watch your kid 24/7?
Yeah. And then I think one of the things that's unfortunate is that when you have somebody of that caliber, of that status, a celebrity of that caliber, you feel that your children are in a safe space, you know, you feel, and even just take the whole celebrity out of the equation and you just have responsible adults, you would feel that those people would be in safe situations and in a safe space. However, sometimes that's not always the case. Look at the accusations with R. Kelly, you know, and whomever else, you know, sometimes you have to still be diligent with your kids and the space that they're in, regardless of who that person may be that they're around.
But I will also,
that's a great point.
As a father, it's so important that we as parents talk to our kids about inappropriate touching, you know, and you tell them that can be from anyone. That can be from an uncle, that can be from an aunt, that can be from grandpa, that, you know, that can be from anyone who could still be close to you. But if it makes you feel uncomfortable, if you know that it's not normal, then you communicate that. I've always taught my daughters that, and having a conversation at an early age is not the most comfortable, but I also know that it's very, very important. I know it's very, very important. And so I'm always constantly having those dialogues as they're getting older, because, it goes from, it could be family, friends, you hear these stories. Most of the time it's someone close attached to that person,
Right.
So if not family, it's a close family friend, whatever.
Right.
But it's usually people around that you trust with your kids. So I always make sure that mine knows that there's no secrets. Don't let nobody tell you.
Period.
It just be kept between you and I. If someone says something, does something, I don't care if it's Uncle Deshaun, that's my brother.
Period.
Like, I don't care. You come to me, you tell me. But I think there was some food, like Dame's conversation really did make me see things a little bit outside of how I viewed a lot of like things that happen to young boys in situations and stuff like that, and how he was like a victim can then victimize someone else because they feel like it was the norm, it happened to them, particularly with young, because I have heard a lot of stories from people who I've encountered who were touched. It was by an older cousin, but who was just slightly older, where they might have been 12 and the cousin was 15 or something like that.
Right.
And then you think, okay, well, maybe it could have been that child was touched early and they're just perpetuating on what happened to them. And I don't think often, I don't find that I've thought about it that way often many times, because I've always thought more of older people doing things to younger people. And sometimes they are within the same age group. So that gave me some thought right there. And I could appreciate, that piece of the conversation from him.
Yeah, you know what, doing interesting enough, before we move on, back in the day, my sister, she couldn't sit on men's lap.
Absolutely.
Like, she couldn't sit on a uncle lap. You couldn't sit on a brother lap. You couldn't do none of that. Get Joe behind on something, and like, we didn't do that. Like, we didn't do that growing up. You know what I'm saying? Because my mama didn't play that. You know what I'm saying? And it's interesting enough, and it's unfortunate, just like you say, Troy, 80% of rape victims are raped by somebody they trust. 85% of rape victims, and those are statistics, which is unbelievable. So I get it, you know what I'm saying? And then too, again, your parent, you trying to, make ends meet, you know what I'm saying? And vetting people for your child sometimes can be real scary. You know what I'm saying? Just like, for instance, you know what I'm saying, to bring up something that is probably so unpopular, but with Janet Jackson and what she said about Kamala Harris, you know what I'm saying, when you go down the rabbit hole, you know what I'm saying?
What did she say? I didn't hear it. What did she say? I didn't see this.
Well, what she said was, she questioned, was Kamala Harris black?
Her ethnicity, right? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying? You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you go down the rabbit hole, Kamala Harris was actually the prosecutor on Michael Jackson's case. And if you go dig deeper, Donald Trump actually, that is a whole rabbit hole. And if you keep sliding down the hole, you'll find out that Donald Trump actually released a statement in defense of Michael way back in the day.
Yes.
So she was really throwing shade.
I was going to say, that sounds like that was intentional, and it sounds like it was a lot of layers to that.
That's exactly what it was. But watch this. What is so crazy, let's take the celebrity out of that, right? Michael Jackson was a grown-ass man who befriended this child's dad and then created a relationship with a 13-year-old child.
Right.
Because he met the father. The father needed a tire or something. According to the story, he got the guy, a tire, but then befriended his son. Let me tell you something, bro. If we take Michael Jackson out of this, if my son is in the bed with a grown ass man at 13, I'm probably 6 B's in before I be like, oh shit, Michael, I forgot that was you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm busting your head open. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I understand what happens. You know what I'm saying? And I love Michael. I love Michael Jackson. But at the end of the day, you're a grown-ass man in the bed with a 13-year-old child. It is the very appearance of it.
Right.
They've been calling you shit your whole life, bro.
Yeah.
Like, why would you even set yourself up like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, you know, but it is what it is. Again, people crazy about their children. I'm one of them. But yeah, we can move on.
Yeah.
We can move on because I'm old country nigga, baby. I get crazy about my children. But yeah, so here's the thing, Tony. We know that you don't have much time to spend with us.
Unfortunate.
And we wish you could have stayed. You could have stayed a little longer. Thank you for jumping in on this topic with us. But just tell our viewing audience, bro, like what you got going on, and also where they can find you.
Absolutely, yeah. Real quick, before I get to that, this show is so necessary. Just sitting here listening to y'all, Black men talking about these topics, and like not only is it like, you know, this could go real south and be real gossipy, and that's okay. But you guys went into a whole informative kind of section of this topic, and
that was the goal. Thank you.
So, yeah, I just want to just state that first. Two, as for me, I could be found everywhere. Tony Talks. I am Tony Talks on all platforms. What I have coming up is actually we just finished filming and producing a musical, and here's the thing, y'all. I be talking too much about it, and I'm not supposed to. But I'm really excited about it, and I can't wait to. All I can just say, and it was a self-funded. Thank you. It's a self-funded project where I unfortunately paid for the entire thing, and it's just the biggest thing I've ever done, and I just can't wait. That's really all I can say. But there's that. Other than that, just keep watching. I'm constantly posting. I'm finna host an award show, and
yay,
that's what's up.
Good for you, buddy.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Yes. And those self-funded projects projects are always your biggest baby. And so I already know how you feel. I think we all have something that we poured our own hard-earned money into. And congratulations. Big ups, my boy.
Thank you. Yeah, I learned so much within, you know, from influencer to stepping into the production world. I learned so much, you know, and I kind of did it very quickly. So it was a lot of downs. It was so many downs, but I think the up is just how great of a project it is and the people that I've gotten to meet and work with. So I just can't wait for y'all to see it. And congratulations to all three of y'all. Like I said, just being here and listening to this show is just like, this is really amazing. They need more shows like this.
Well, we appreciate that, Tony. We really appreciate that. Congratulations to you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for being here with us on Metro Men of Atlanta. We're just, you know what I'm saying, brothers in the life that we're trying to represent an entirely different arm of what it means to live your truth and to be Black, because there is some crazy stigma around our lives or whatever. And we're trying to be the best representation that we can actually be. Your compliment meant everything to us. And thank you so much for that, my brother. Promise me that you're going to come back and chill with us, bro.
Yeah. Listen, send the invite, and I'll get up to Black over here. If I'm in the room with absolutely, I would absolutely love to. Thank you for just the invitation.
That is what's up. Y'all heard it from Tony Talks, y'all. After this break, we got some more to break down. We will see you when we get back.
Alrighty.
So we are back. It was so great having that brother. That was so awesome. Oh my God, that was so awesome. In a recent Vibe column, DJ NB had said to have taken a very unpopular stance about Diddy's racketeering and sex trafficking case, stating that, however, let me pull it back. In a recent Vibe column, DJ NB is said to have taken an unpopular stand in the Diddy racketeering sex trafficking case. DJ NB, however, has recently defended the controversial mogul, specifically from how he is viewed by the public and the term of his arrest. Let's hear what he had to say.
I will say this: Diddy's a freaky nigga, like freaky, like freaky Friday, freaky Thursday, freaky Monday, freaky Wednesday, and there's nothing wrong with being a freaky person.
There's nothing wrong with being.
So the fact that he has 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube just means he just like to get shit popping, and there's nothing wrong. There's nothing illegal about that. Now, the one thing I will say that I don't like is I don't like how people. I mean, everybody's gonna crack a joke. I mean, it is what it is. I don't like how people convict him before hearing all of the evidence, right? I didn't like the fact that they didn't give him a bond. And the reason is he was going to put up $50 million, his house, his mom's house. The reason I feel that is he was giving up his passports. Diddy has 3 kids without a mom, right? Mm-hmm. Kim Porter passed away. So he has 2 twins that are 17 years old that don't have their dad right now and probably won't have their dad for the next 2 years until the trial is over. I feel like he should have got a bond and been able to fight this outside while he did. Harvey Weinstein had a bond. Bill Cosby had a bond. OJ had a bond. And people could say OJ ran. He took off and they chased him and he still had a bond. Now, in this society, it feels like you're guilty and you have to prove yourself to be innocent. But it should be the other way. You should be innocent to proven guilty.
All right. Well.
Now that he broke it down that way, right? Now that he broke it down that way and pointed out the past guys has been in trouble, you know, I didn't think about it that way. He should have been granted a bond. I do feel like he should have been granted a bond, considering the kids, considering his affairs, considering all the things that people got to do, you know, while they locked up. I mean, I just feel like it's a whole nother play again towards the black man. I mean, is Diddy a freak? Like Envy said, yeah, he a freak, you know. But allow that man to prove himself amongst his peers in the court of law. But in the meantime, in between, give me a bond. Like, that is a good point. Why was he denied bond? What, 3 or 4 times, right?
Right. Yeah, about 3, I think. And then did you just see about the guys who was arrested, you know, the
Abercrombie and Finch.
Yeah.
And they got a bond.
Yeah. And they got a bond.
They got a bond, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That did make me say,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you know what, though? Here's the thing. A couple of things when it comes to that. Because I was thinking that, you know what I'm saying, and it's so crazy because even when we was preparing this show, none of that had happened. You know what I'm saying? But then it did happen. Right. And you're like, wow. My thing is this. First of all, I want to give a shout out to DJ Envy's wife, okay, because she seems solid. She doesn't seem sucked in by his celebrity. I've heard her a couple of times talk about certain subjects, and she really seems to have her own mind, and I love her opinion when she talks about these different things, because of course, if you dig deeper, she heard him, but but she was asking questions, bro, like, yeah. And the one thing that she did say was, when it comes to him, people not judging, well, one, his wife said it best, you know what I'm saying? We've been hearing all of this stuff for years, and most people aren't going off of recent occurrences and recent news. You know what I'm saying? 2, Diddy misrepresented the truth when it came to Cassie, and he reveled in the ridicule and backlash that was aimed at Cassie until that video came out, and he had this, and we saw his monstrous actions. And then we saw how he came up with this super crazy apology after you have said and celebrated people dogging this girl out because you didn't think that it was going to come out. So my thing is this: they are doing what they're doing, and they getting out. But you've shown us a high level of deception when it comes to you and what you did. And then again, you know what I'm saying? These men are not one investigated by the FBI. Are they investigated by the FBI? I don't think they were. I just think that there was allegations and there were investigations. But when it comes to Diddy, it's a whole nother machine that's after him.
They weren't arrested by FBI as well?
I'm not sure. They could have been. But this thing has been going on for a very, very long time with Diddy.
I mean, that still shouldn't have any pretense on him being granted bond.
It shouldn't. But bro, look at this. Every time a black man gets out in the public,
right,
and they assume this white cape, the powers that be always show them how black they are.
Absolutely.
From Kanye to OJ, Candace Owens, we decades. I'm waiting on Clarence Thomas because he's next. I don't care how long that a black man swims in a white pool. When they ready, they dry them off with a black towel. Period.
I agree.
I don't care how it is. They always show you how black you are when they're tired of you. Did y'all see what's the old boy name who TLC pulled a gun on? Clive.
Who?
Did y'all see Clive Davis acting like an old senile white man when they asked him about Diddy? Have y'all seen him?
I mean, he is an old.
I was gonna say he is very bad, but no, I haven't.
He ain't that senile, baby, because he got up in that car. He knew what car to get into. He knew he had that dog in his hand, and he got right on in that car and rolled right on off while they was asking him questions and didn't say a word.
I did see that video though.
But you get what I'm saying? But bro, this man has been a part of you and your foolishness for a long time. And now he gets to plead senile. And now you're going to get taken from your children, potentially for the rest of your life.
Right.
Because one racketeering, sex trafficking, is 15 to life. One. And even if you parole on one, out of 100 and something, a few of them going to stick.
Yeah.
Because everybody can listen to the same lie, but everybody can't tell it.
Yeah, that's true. That is
So,
true.
yeah.
Well, fellas, let's move this along. So, on the THPP network, comedian Corey Holcomb gave his take also on why Diddy's arrest has the whole industry shook. Corey also offered advice on how to handle this. And do you think that some people should take his actual advice?
Because I think I can offer a solution to all of the people going through anxiety of what's probably to come. All of the people who have participated in the buick bashings, you know you'll probably be outed. Just listen to the reason of Corey Holcomb. Why not get ahead of it? Why not have a group of you guys who are worried about your reputation? Why not have a roundtable discussion for the people so they can somewhat understand you? Instead of being outed by the authorities, have a sit down of what you did that you might be worried about coming out there. Because if you come with it first, people ain't that bad on you. Have you noticed that in life?
What y'all
That boy
think?
said
That was
the
a lie.
babuic bastard.
Listen,
He says,
I mean,
so
one thing we
what
know
would
about
you do?
the black community, we are a forgiving community. That's one
We
thing.
are, but we're also a very judgmental and judgy
Very
community as
judgmental.
well.
Yes, we are.
That shit
But I
runs two
mean, but
ways.
in the end, we still. I mean, I think there was some validity in what he said, and
I
just
do
like,
too.
if you know that there's possibly something that could be exposed about you, I'm a strong believer, just from my own personal experiences. If I could tell my own story, then I ain't got to worry about you having nothing over.
Right, exactly.
Period.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
That's we
Period.
always quick to do
Live and
that.
walk my own truth because it's my journey
Exactly.
and my story to tell. As opposed to it being a scandal. So I was kind of like vibing, and it made a lot of sense, but ain't nobody really
It made a lot of sense.
Ain't
It made a
nobody
lot of sense,
confessed
though.
nothing yet. I guess they waiting to kind of see how it play out. But you know, some of them they'll call that PR team and minutes before it's about to be exposed, they'll be that hit the news.
Right.
Yeah.
To give you, I think they waiting for that. They waiting to first see some of what the FBI got before they start.
Sure, you're so silly.
But you know what though, I think is about this and that I did want to bring out. You know what I'm saying? Because I heard some people, you know, when it comes to this, they say, why don't you just live your truth? Now, one point that I
Easier
want to
said than
bring up,
done.
that's number one. And then number two, if Meek Mills, and this is alleged, I'm not saying he is, I don't know him or whatever, but if Meek Mills like men and Meek Mills is having sex with men, Meek Mill is living his truth. There is nothing connected to him confessing what he is doing privately that constitutes him living his truth. You get what I'm saying? Because what happens is the community or the public feels like I'm not living my truth if I'm not telling everybody what I'm doing. And that
But
is
see,
not the truth.
that's a right. There you go. And that's a thin line, because just because you're not volunteering, it doesn't mean you're necessarily lying either. I mean, there's privacy. There's privacy to it too. You know, you don't have to, you know, so that's a thin line in itself.
Period. It would be different if this was Rashida and Kurt or Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade.
Right.
You tell them. And that's who you're responsible to, because those are your spouses. And y'all know what y'all got going on. And if you say it for better for worse, and this is exclusive, and then you want to tell them or whatever, you don't owe the public to tell them anything to be living your truth. So let's get that out the way, because all we want to do is know it to talk about it. That's it. Because we can't do nothing with it.
Right.
And then two, if the black community was not so hard on black, on gay and black, brothers wouldn't feel so trapped. You know what I'm saying? By simple desires. Corey Holcomb, you own the something, bro. I ain't gonna even lie to you. You own the something. But then at the end of the day, if they come out, they're gonna lose everything. But you know what though? But watch this. Even as gay men, and tell me if I'm wrong, if we pull the curtain back, it's so many gay men. Oh my God. That do straight shit. But they're gay. You know what I'm saying? And we know because we part of the locker room. So we know the brothers that's tipping. We know the brothers, you know what I'm saying, that's doing all this stuff, but they trapped. What are they going to say? Where's the refuge? How can they come out? How can they really live their truth when somebody catch a wind of it and now they're trying to exploit it?
It's always like that though, and it's unfortunate. I don't like that, but it's always
I
like
hate it. I hate it. But you know, we're doing it to each other. You know, and the one thing, you know, a lot of people get mad at the fluidity of the young people, but at least they're not killing people and killing themselves because they can't express themselves. Because I know some very, very pointed things when it comes to, I know somebody that literally went to a great school, literally died because they were too afraid to tell their parents. Went through college and the graduation gift was actually a casket because you're too afraid to tell your parents what you got going on.
Oh, wow.
And you die. My thing is this. I don't give a fuck what's going on. I ain't finna let the public turn me against my children.
Absolutely.
My children can turn me against them. But the public ain't finna turn you ain't finna turn me against my child, even when it comes to Lil Bootsy and what he did, you know what I'm saying, concerning his daughter. And if you really saw that, it was unbelievable the pain that was in that young lady's eyes, but at the same time, the admiration that she had for her dad, that she was taking all of those public lashings. And he felt like that was okay. First of all, nobody, Carisha or nobody, would have been able to ask me about my motherfucking daughter. Let's be honest. Okay, that's my daughter. And at the end of the day, if you got something to ask her, you invite both of us so we can talk about it together, or you invite her so she can talk about it. But don't ask me about my child. Period. So,
well, on that note, the next topic, man, you know, with the elections and me just hadn't voted tonight, I want to just share with y'all. After this short break, we'll discuss the state of Black men in our current Democratic election and the stakes that we face as a culture when we return to Metro Men of Atlanta.
we are back. And unless you've been living under a rock, you know that there is a highly rated Democratic election going on of historic proportions. I mean, there are so many things that are at stake: voters' rights, the economy, immigration, and a woman's right to choose. We know that Kamala Harris, the Democratic nominee, is blazing the historic trails. She raised more than any presidential candidate in history after announcing her candidacy in 24 to 48 hours. To date, she has raised $1 billion in donor support, the highest in political history. She is arguably the most politically decorated candidate in history, a barred attorney, the 27th district attorney of San Francisco, the 32nd Attorney General of California, the U.S. Senator from California, and the 49th Vice President of the United States. Conversations about Black male support has almost dominated the airwaves. Political pundit Keith Boykin posted a snippet of an episode of Barbershop Roundtable, a conversation that took place in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, on the battleground states, for one of the battleground states up for grabs in this current election. Fellas, as Black men, what do we know about Kamala Harris, and how do we feel about Kamala Harris becoming the president of the United States?
I think it's better than Trump.
No. And that is a whole period.
I think it's
That's a whole statement, bro.
I mean,
That's a whole statement.
I mean, you know, I'm still honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still realistically on the fence with her. I'm still learning more about her each day and things from her career in the past. However, as far as the two candidates, when it comes down to, like I said, her and Trump, I do think that she would be the better pick over Trump. Do I feel that she would be the best? I go in it hopeful and prayerful, and you know, like that, you know, because there's still so much about her that we're learning, like I said, as we go. Yes, she's had an amazing past. Yes, she has amazing accolades. Yes, she was a defense attorney. Yes, she was because she lead our country at the end of the day. And that's what I have to say.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that, and I'm with that. Troy, how do you feel about her?
Listen, I'm super excited to have cast my vote today. I'm Kamala Harris all the way. I just feel like I'd rather take my chances with her than with the former president.
Correct.
And I feel like when I watched the last debate, I had both of them, you know, going in it. I'm an emotional person, and I just felt like I was connecting with a lot of what she was saying. Not even so much all of what she was saying, but I was feeling a lot of what she was saying, and I just connected with so much of that. I felt like she was speaking truth to what she wanted to do, what her hopes were, what her aspirations are for this country, and I'm for that. I'm definitely for that because I didn't like the way I felt this country had been so divided when we were under that former leadership. And I just want to feel more unity in our country. I just want to feel more love from my fellow brothers and sisters. And I mean, not just, you know, of color, but just, you know, we all are brothers.
As a whole, yeah.
As a
Period.
whole.
Mm-hmm. Period.
I just want to feel that. And I feel like that is a big part of her focus as well, along with all of the other things that she's going to do that's going to help support, you know, my life, my family, my friends, because so much of what she's going to do will impact the lives of many people that I know. So whether it's my great-grandmother, you know, or my parents or myself, so I'm excited. Today was a good day for me. I can't wait for everybody else to cast theirs. But
And another thing that I wanted to hit on that, because you said something about, you know, when you cast your vote earlier, let's not forget about the other things that are going on locally that affect us right here in our own community, in our own counties, in our own cities, our state and local affiliates and things like that. Like there's a lot of stuff that goes on that will affect, you know, our taxes locally and our homes, you know, especially for, you know, homeowners and things like that. So let's also be very aware about what's going on and what's on those ballots.
Locally.
And it's not just locally too, because we get so caught up in the whole presidential thing that we forget about what's going on grassroots locally in our own communities.
Yes. Thank you for bringing that up, brother. Yes, good point. But some of those
Troy,
today, I was like, I don't know on this one, baby. but if they're part of my political party, then I'm gonna take my chances with them.
Period. I'm gonna take my chance.
Right.
So I have a question, Troy. Have you talked to your daughter about how do they feel about a potential, you know, black woman being the president of the United States?
Oh yeah, we talk. I talk to my kids about all of that, about the history of voting, where we are now, where this country has, you know, been when it came to all the different over 100 presidents that we've had. So yeah, she is very, even when Kamala was running for vice president, she knew that even then that was a big deal. So the fact that now she's able to see a woman, you know, possibly become the first president. Yeah, we talk about all of that. I'm so glad
That's good.
to be able to see this. But what she will always is remember it because, you know,
Because this
I'm
is
give
history
us
at the end of the day. We're living
right.
in history right now, either way.
It's history. It is definitely history. So yeah, I'm big on that. I made sure that she's able to go with me and vote. This is her second time going with me to vote for a president. So yeah, man. Yeah, I'm definitely. I'll let her know. 18. Can't do it yet, but 18.
Right. And I know you was just joking about 100 presidents, but we
Oh,
haven't
we
had
ain't
that many.
100? How many presidents have we
No,
had? No.
46 presidencies.
Oh my Jesus, I was joking.
After
Yes.
he just read this whole paragraph of Kamala's and accolades and say 49th.
Oh
Oh my God.
I
That was
think,
my
yeah, I
laugh,
think
y'all.
it's like, yeah, it's 46 presidencies.
That's
Vice
what's
president,
So
yeah,
they
the
say,
49th vice president.
but then that's kind of shaky because I mean, shit, she's what, the 49th vice president? What?
Yeah.
So yeah, the 49th president. So I think it's probably been 49 presidencies. Yeah, in the 40s. But
that
hey,
part.
listen, I got your back. But and, you know, though, I think what disappoints me so badly when it comes to the way that black men are acting, it blows me. And you know, we brothers of a particular persuasion. So we are surrounded by beautiful women all the time. One in our professions, because we all do women, you know, oriented, you know, careers. You know what I'm saying? And so we've
Right.
always, you know, so women, you know, solicit us all the time for different things that we offer professionally. But you know, you hear black women say, "Damn, I think black men hate us." Well, shit, we don't. You know what I'm saying? But just to see the way that they have been almost spat upon when it comes to Kamala Harris, and I'm just saying, like any brother in between the ages of 35 and at least 50 has been raised by a single black woman. And why all of a sudden this woman becomes incapable of navigating a life when half of us have been raised by a single black woman? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yes.
And you know what I'm saying? A large percentage of black successful men were raised by a black woman, but yet and still we dogging Kamala out. We may not know a whole lot about her, but we do know enough about Trump
Right. You're right
to
about that.
consider to consider the fact that shit, she can't be this bad. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And you know what?
Right.
So whether y'all believe it or not, when you look at JD Vance, when you look at all of these brothers are brilliant tech people. These people
Right.
are brilliant. There is no possible way that these people are truly in allegiance with Trump. There's no possible way. You know what I think it is? I think that these brothers are going to flip on Trump at the end of the day. Because number one, as long as he sit there and they keep telling him, "Oh, you're awesome, you're this, you're that."
Right.
To me, the White House is Rapunzel. The hair is Trump. And they are the prince down on the ground trying to get up to Rapunzel. He is just an avenue to the White House, period.
Who's this?
that's Trump. He's just an avenue to the White House. These boys are too brilliant to be following him. Donald Trump has the political prowess of an 8-year-old. and he has the cognition of a declining elder.
He does.
He is not up for the job, number one. And then for number two, these boys ain't finna follow him. These boys finna pull some on Trump. Watch. As soon as they get in the White House, mark my word, it's right here on Metro Men of Atlanta. We can go back and play this. I'm telling you, they are up to something, and it does not include Trump. Now watch what I tell you. But yeah, that's what's up. So it's always nice talking to you fellas, and we got to do it again real soon. Thanks for tuning in to Metro Men of Atlanta. For more, follow us on social media, all social media platforms, Metro Men of Atlanta, on X, formerly known as Twitter.
You sounded like Medea. Twitter.
Right, Twitter. Metro Men of ATL.
All right, y'all. Peace.